Hey team, it's Mr. Z, and today we're going to review how to multiply decimals without a calculator. So let's go ahead and dive on in. Alright, so the idea behind multiplying decimals without a calculator is to rewrite the problems and not freak out and just kind of pretend that there are no decimals. We'll handle it later. You're just going to multiply as if it was a normal multi-digit number. So in number 1 for 4.8, I'm going to go ahead and simply write 48. I'm going to multiply it by 35, and I'm going to use two colors to help illustrate what numbers come from what source. So if you need to help multiply without a calculator, generate the sequence of multiples, have this on a piece of paper, but always write it out yourself, because the idea is that you need to build this fact fluency with experience. So after I generate the sequence for the bottom numbers, I'm going to go ahead and dive in and compute the product. I'm going to do 5 times 8, and the 8th term of this sequence is going to be 40. So I put a 0 and then raise the 4. Now I'm going to do 5 times 4 again, which is 20. Now I'm going to go ahead and add this 4, and I'm going to result in 24. Now I'm going to go ahead and move on to my next number, the 3. But because it's not just a 3, it's a 30. 30 has 1 0. So I'm going to put a placeholder of 0. Now I can pretend 3 times 8. The 8th term in the sequence is 24. So I put the 1s. I raise the 2 to be added later. 3 times 4 is 12. Now I have to add the 2 from before, and that's going to result in 14. Now I go ahead and add, and I'm going to get 1680. Now notice how I did not have to make this problem. The decimals did not have to align. This just is the case. Now the way we add the decimals back in our problem is we look at the number of decimal places. Here there's 1 decimal place, and here there's a total of 1 decimal place. So to adjust for this inconsistency, we have to look at 1680. 1680 is the number. The period is at the end of the sentence. There's always a decimal here. So now I'm going to go ahead and move it to the left 1 spot for the decimal in 4.8. I'm going to then adjust it again and move the decimal an additional spot. So my final answer is going to be 1680, and I can drop the 0 after the 8. It is an insignificant digit. Now I'm going to go ahead and just get you set up in number 2. I'm going to rewrite it, pretend that there's no decimals. So this is simply going to be 23 and then 5. And I'm going to multiply it by 0.7. But one thing I can do, just like I dropped the 0 above, I can drop it at the end. So I'm going to go ahead and multiply it out, and then I would move the decimal a total of 2 places. I hope this review helped. Basically, this is just a look back in time on the traditional method and how to multiply decimals. See you later, team.